We're back as Dawn is still showing us the major buildings we're going to be seeing on our adventure, the Pokemon Center, the Pokemart, and since you're a novice trainer, you won't be able to buy many kinds of merchandise. Well, I thought she was going to say you won't be able to buy anything, but yeah, of course we won't be able to buy too much stuff, and oh, you gotta be kidding me. That's right, I gotta head back to Twinleaf Town to let my mother know that I'm going on a grand adventure to fill up that Pokédex. And yeah, before you go heal up your Pokemon at the Pokemon Center, well, I might just have done that had you not so rudely interrupted me on my way out of the lab. But anyway, we're going to be checking out Sandgem Town a bit before heading back to Twinleaf. And let's check out the first Pokemon Mart in the game. And as usual, it's very basic things like always bring Pokeballs with you in case you meet a shiny or stuff like that. And I'm going to buy a few balls, 10 in fact, and it's for the same reason as in Emerald. When you buy 10 or more, you get a Premier Ball as a bonus. So to get more bang for your buck, always buy 10, not one more, not one less. Because if you buy 999 regular balls, you still get only one Premier Ball, whereas you would get 99 if you bought them in shots of 10. So, okay, now this really feels awkward. It's always awkward when someone tries saving the game from inside a game. And the house to the left of the screen is Dawn's house. Although I don't think we ever see Dawn inside her house, but then again, that's standard fare for major Pokemon characters. And this little girl here is Dawn's sister, and once you've beaten the Elite Four, she's going to tell you about swarms that are all over Sinnoh. There's one different swarm every day. For example, one day there's going to be a swarm on Route 218, the next day it's going to be at the Valor Lakefront, for example. But, yeah, it changes every day, but the Pokemon that appears on a given route is always the same. It's just that I was about to forget to check out the upper floor, because there aren't many houses in Pokemon where there are 2 floors, and this is presumably Dawn's floor, and yeah, same thing as in Barry's house, so let's just get out of Dodge. Now, there's nothing in the trash can, so I guess we're going to be on our way to the next building. But yeah, as I was about to say, it's the place where there's a swarm that changes every day, and swarms are one of the many, many ways of catching Pokemon in the post-game. We're going to be covering the rest of them as we go. So here is this. Anything interesting? Doesn't look like it. It's just your average house containing NPCs, and there are quite a lot of them throughout the game, of course, but it's still a good idea to check them out, just in case you get NPCs to give you items and stuff. But most of the time it's just going to be advice that everyone already knows, such as this. So, before heading back to the northern part of Sandgem, I'm just going to check out this place. This is Route 219, in case there's anything here. And we have an antidote. Well, it's better than nothing, but of course we need Surf to be able to get past this point. But don't worry, we'll be coming back here once we do get Surf. So, first let's check out the Pokemon Center, which is probably everyone's favorite building, since you get to free healing for your Pokemon. And yeah, the top floor of the Pokemon is the Communication Club. And a new addition to Generation 4 is the bottom floor, which lets you trade and battle through Wi-Fi, because of course Wi-Fi wasn't there in the first 3 generations, and naturally Wi-Fi isn't accessible at this point of the game yet. It's going to be available a little later, so that's why there's a woman blocking the path there. So I just healed my Turtwig, thankfully, because those Starlies and Bidoofs, well, they're not threatening on their own, but repeated abuse can bring your health down a lot. So, of course, Wi-Fi is off limits, but we can still head up to the wireless corner, which is accessible right now. And oh, we got some graphical distortions in the Pokemon Center. I apologize for that. It's not what it's supposed to look like in the real game, of course. course. And you may sign the back of your trainer card. Well, no thanks, I failed to see the point. Anyway, this is the Union Room where you can trade wirelessly. You can also do battles, although those aren't really standard battles. They're like level 30 battles and stuff like that. And yes, as she's saying, it's local wireless only. And yeah, 2 Pokemon at level 30 for a one-on-one battle. But the real reason why you want to come here is trade. Mix record or draw, and even chat. Yeah, I fail to see the point of chatting through local wireless when the person is right next to you. Well, I imagine it's, helpful if you're deaf or mute, but I don't think Nintendo had the disabled in mind. They just made something completely pointless. And okay, we got multiple types of battles that we can do here, and this is the woman you want to talk to if you want to do battles, not the other one, because those crappy level 30 battles just plain suck. This is where the standard battling takes place, with singles and doubles and links and all kinds of gimmicky battles where you can even beat 4 trainers to battle at the same time in a tag battle. I don't think the game uses the term tag battle, though. I think it's anime. It's an anime thing, so whatever. Doesn't really matter anyway. And yeah, that's about all there is to say about this place. So now we're going to get out of there and head back to Twinleaf, since we got nothing better to do now. So, on Route 201, I think you've noticed that there are shortcuts that you can use to avoid the tall grass, but we're not going to do that. I'm going to run straight into the tall grass to try and get random encounters. And the reason for this is because, well, as I said, this is going to be a solo Turtwig run all the way until Veilstone. And what this means is that Turtwig can't cover all the types by itself. Normally it would need a little help, but since it's going to be a solo run all the way until Veilstone, I'm going to use brute power leveling in order to be able to survive. There are several battles that really worry me, and the first of them is the second Barry battle on Route 203. He's got a level 7 Starly and a level 9 Chimchar. And the Starly isn't much of a threat since it hasn't gotten a wing attack yet at that point, but the Chimchar does know Ember, so it's really going to be a huge problem if I only bring my Turtwig into that battle. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying to gain some levels while I'm still facing relatively weak Pokemon. I'm going to try, hopefully, to reach level 13 by the time I fight Barry. The reason why I'm saying level 13 is because Turtwig learns Razor Leaf at that point, and if you're wondering why I'd use Razor Leaf on a Starly and a Chimchar, well, the reason for that is because stabbed, not very effective Razor Leaf is still stronger than non-stabbed Tackle. Of course, I could go all the way to level 17 and learn Bite, or just one level later evolve it into Grotle, but probably not gonna happen. And now, after taking a nap, now's the time to inform my mom that I'm going on a super special awesome adventure to meet all kinds of people in Pokemon, beat down a criminal syndicate, you know, the usual thing. And yeah, it feels odd to refer to taking down criminal syndicates as the usual thing, but isn't that what you always do in Pokemon anyway? But anyway, this isn't what I was talking about. We're not supposed to know about the existence of Team Galactic quite yet, but yeah, just joking. I think you can meet her in Hearthome, actually, in contests if you do them, but I've never done much in the way of contests since they suck even more than they did in Generation 3, believe it or not. But, let's see the kind of... Oh, wow! Oh, who's that now? Oh, Barry's mom. Well, that explains the tendency of barging in unannounced. I guess I know who he takes after, to answer her question from a few videos ago. That's exactly what she said. I wonder who he takes after. Well, definitely after his mom, especially since I don't think we ever see his dad. But yeah, now she wants to ask me if I will take something to him. I don't remember what it is, but anyway, it's a parcel. This means it's another needless throwback to Generation 1. Okay, knowing my boy, he would probably head straight to Jubilee City. Well, guess what? That's where we're going to meet him for the next time. Well, actually, we're going to meet him on the outskirts of Jubilee City at the entrance to Route 203. But, okay, whatever. So now we're going to be going through some tall grass some more, try and level my Turtwig up, because on Route 202, which is going to be our next destination, we're going to fight the first regular trainers in the game, and although they don't have level 7 or 8 Pokemon quite yet, but they're still more of a challenge than individual wild Pokemon. It goes without saying. And one thing to note about trainers, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in any of my LPs, but trainers Pokemon give you 50% more experience than wild Pokemon, which is another reason why the Versus Seeker is an extremely valuable tool when you're grinding your Pokemon. It's such a shame that they didn't bring it back in any way, shape, or form in Black and White, though there are a few battles that you can do each day, so I guess it may sort of compensate for this. Same for Hard Gold and Soul Silver, but the Versus Seeker from Fire Red and Leaf Green and Diamond Pearl Platinum is still my preferred way of grinding, if at all available. Oh, hi, Dawn! But anyway, now, what does she want? Oh, yeah. We're going to get our mandatory tutorial on how to catch a Pokemon. It was sort of gimmicky in Generation 3 how I needed to be the one showing, not Barry, but Wally to catch his very own routes, but here it's just a straight-up tutorial. Here I'm going to show you how to catch a Pokemon. So now, I guess we're just going to watch the tutorial, and yeah, not a very thrilling battle. It's ready for a Pokeball. It's still in the green! Hit it some more, damn it! Come on! You're supposed to be showing me how to catch one, not how to fail at catching one. Though, of course, it's hard-coded, so you won't be seeing any failures. But just so that you know, it's better if their HP is not in the green. And that Bidoof was caught, and it's a shame that we're never going to see it again, because Bidoof and Bibarel make excellent HM slaves. In fact, I'm going to be using these as HM slaves in this game, but yeah, as she's saying, it's a better idea to bring down their HP a little more, or inflict them with sleep or paralysis or stuff like that, because, well, I just wonder why she didn't just emphasize on the low HP during the battle instead of just saying it as a side note after the battle. Oh hey, at least we get a few free balls out of the deal, so I'm not complaining. If you have well-awesome Pokemon with you, it'll be safer on long trips, especially if your type coverage is effective. But then again, my usual policy is to make the early game harder because it's designed to be easier in order to make the end game easier, which is why I am going through with that solo Turtwig run all the way until Veilstone, because there are none of my planned teams that I can get until then. Well, I can get a Togepi, but Togepi has such horrid stats and no move pool at all until it evolves into Togetic and learns a few TMs in Veilstone's department store. And as for Vaporeon, well, I want to breed Yawn on it, and requires the use of a Hippopotas to do this, so that's why I'm going to have to wait until Veilstone in order to really get my next 2 team members. So I'm going to end this here, and in the next video we're going to be fighting our first few regular trainers in this game, and possibly get to Jubilee City as well.